In this series, I am going to be building a SaaS from scratch, and I will not be stopping until I reach 1 million in total revenue. I will be documenting my entire journey in its entirety in this video series in hopes that it will inspire some of you, or regardless of whether I succeed or fail. For me, is to give myself the motivation to actually see this whole thing from start to finish and not give up halfway. For you guys, I hope that it'll serve as a form of inspiration, or at least give you some valuable learning points that you can take away from this journey that we will embark on together. Alright, so enough talking, let's get into it right now. Alright, so in this first video, let's actually talk about the idea that I envisioned for my SaaS, as well as how I actually got the idea to begin with. Alright, so for this, I actually followed this gold mining framework video to actually validate the market as well as to get the idea for my app, which is made by Starter Story, this Starter Story YouTube channel over here. It's one of the best entrepreneurship tech startup channels on YouTube. Right, so the first step is actually just to find a market that you're interested in. The market that I'm most interested in is tech startups, SaaS, and entrepreneurships. So that's the market that I want to direct my solution to. So I actually came up with this key problem of how to market a SaaS business. With today's no-code tools, it's actually very simple and very easy to build up your own applications and software. But the real problem comes with your distribution channel. How are you going to market your app? How are you going to let your users know that they need your app if you don't even have the visibility or the audience to begin with? So for me personally, I didn't know where to start once I built my app. I had no audience, no social media presence, and no marketing strategies and the marketing know-how that some people have. The next step is to actually validate this market, to find out whether there are actually users who are facing the same problems as I have, and whether it's a growing market so that your solution is able to keep on generating revenue. So for this, I used the simple tool of Google Trends to let you see which search terms are trending on Google right now. This graph over here, this is the SaaS marketing search term. Let me zoom in on the graph. You can see that the interest over time is actually going up exponentially. That is very good and what we want to see. Now I also typed in the search term tech startup marketing. You can see that likewise, there's a spike recently after 2023 and it's also going up. That is what we like to see. And this is to be expected since with the prevalence of no-code tools, agentic AI builders, more people are building and getting into software development and building their own applications with ease. So the real problem now is actually trying to market those. So that's a very good trend that we like to see. The third step that I took was actually to gather data, particularly from Reddit. So using Reddit, we have this knowledge base of actual users who are able to share their problems on the platform. So if I go, so I can actually copy this prompt, which was the prompt that was shared in the YouTube Starter Story document over here, and I'll just paste that in Google Chrome for the market to explore. I'll just put it as SaaS marketing. I search and you can see that all of these Reddit threads, which are full of information, appear over here. So you can actually go through all of these Reddit threads, and whenever you spot or you see something interesting, and if there's something about user frustration with current solutions or them talking about the problem, then you just want to go ahead and copy that whole thread. And we'll feed that into an LLM later for us to actually process all of these user frustrations and problems so that we can actually extract the key pain points that our potential users will have and are already having. Alright, so for example, this thread over here seems interesting because it talks about an actual SaaS founder ranting about his problems about the marketing of the SaaS. So we'll go ahead and actually copy this whole thread over here. Copy that. I open a notepad, very simple notepad, and I'll paste the whole thread over here. And at the end of the thread, I will put 3 dashes so that the LLM knows that this is the end of a single thread. Now I'll just repeat the process with a bunch of other threads that I think will be useful to extract the customer's key pain points. What's your biggest marketing struggle? That's an amazing thread because it's talking about the struggles with marketing a SaaS. So I'll go ahead, copy that, and I'll paste it in my notepad. Okay, I'll just repeat this a bunch more times. Let me find 10 to 15 Reddit threads. Alright, so I got a bunch of threads now, and the next step is actually to process the data. So now that we have the data, we can process it using LLMs to actually extract the pain points that we want. So sort of to summarize it, instead of looking at all of those threads by yourself. So if we go to the pain point extractor in the YouTube starter story documents over here, we'll just copy all of this and go to your chat model of your choice. For me, I'll just use ChatGPT since that's the easiest. I'll paste in the context so that the LLM over here actually knows what I'm trying to get out of it, so that it actually knows how to answer my prompts as well. Actually go ahead and save it, save the text document, and I'll go ahead and paste it. I'll add the file, the text document over here instead. So I'll add this document. And now it'll read the document and it'll extract the pain points from all of those Reddit threads. So you can see the first one over here is emotional burnout, motivation struggles, and you can see that because we gave it the system prompt, it's actually extracting and giving us the exact quotes from the Reddit threads as well. Alright, so now that we have all of these pain points extracted, I will just copy this. I'll copy this over here. I'll just paste it over here. So these are the pain points. After that, we can actually paste this other prompt, which is to come up with solutions to those pain points, with said pain points. So I'll just paste in this prompt, and now ChatGPT will come up with a bunch of solutions for those specific pain points that it just generated based on the actual user frustrations to the problem from the Reddit threads. Right, I'll go ahead and copy that one, it's all done, and I'll paste it over here so that I know and can remember it and can refer to it again. Let's take a look at some of the solutions. And after looking through all of those solutions, I think this is the one that is most targeted towards our problem. So over here, the solution is a one-click influencer outreach tool for micro SaaS businesses. This is a tool to pair solo startups together with influencers in a particular niche, and the influencers will be able to sort of market the apps for them, for the startups, since they already have a presence in that niche and are also able to know the marketing strategies needed to actually market a product. Alright, so now that we have actually validated the market, the last step in the starter story goal mining framework is actually to generate a landing page for our SaaS itself. This is particularly for Lovable, but I will actually not be using Lovable. I'll just be using Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, to generate my landing pages as well as build my SaaS. So alright, so let me just go ahead and copy this in Markdown. I'll paste it in a new chat, and at the end I'll actually paste my idea that I want. So let me copy this idea in Markdown. And I'll say, so now that I have the solution inside, I also have to tell it to use Copilot since I'm not using Lovable. So I'll put in an additional section, additional notes. and we'll let ChatGPT do its thing. Alright, so very nice. The prompt has been generated. Let me go ahead and actually just save the prompt over here. So I like to document everything down so that I remember. Alright, and now the final step to actually generate the landing page is to open up Visual Studio Code. Is to open a folder. So I'll make a new one in my desktop. And it's actually just to go ahead and paste that prompt over here. So we're using Copilot, Agent Mode, Claude Sonnet 4 as the model. And now we can sit back and let the agent do its thing, do its magic for us. Alright, and there you have it. We have created our landing page. Let's keep all the changes and let's see how it actually looks. So if I go and I open it, you can see this is our landing page over here, created all with one prompt. So over here we can see the hero section, get influencers talking about your SaaS without ads or agencies. So you can see it talks about the problem statement over here and the solution as well. Instant influencer discovery, so matching the SaaS businesses with influencers in that niche. Perfect pitches written for you, send the pitch to the influencer. Real relationships, real users. So through the influencers, we will be able to market the SaaS to the target users. And over here you can see how our supposed product also works. Upload product, find influencers, and we can send and track. Seems like I also generated an outreach dashboard to the influencers as well. So you can also track which influencers you have sent your proposals to, and you can see if they replied or not, or if they're interested. Over here you can see that there's also a quote from the founder of InfluenceSnap, so we'll probably have to change this. Alright, looking very good. Let me actually test out if this actually works. Probably not. That's pretty cool. I wonder where the email's actually being stored and if there's actually an email being sent. But probably not. But it's still very nice to look at. Probably the hero section, we'll probably have to change it. But it's definitely looking good for what we have managed to achieve today. Alright, so that's it for this first video of this series. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video where we continue our SaaS building journey together.